Hi, I'm Eric, and welcome back to Canada Casino, your guide for online gambling. In this very special episode, we're gonna go over sports betting, what it's all about, and how to be good at it. This video is for beginners, or at least people who've just started getting into betting. You can expect more advanced sports betting content in the near future, so definitely stay tuned for that. So firstly, what is sports betting exactly? You're basically placing a wager on the outcome of a sports game, whatever that sport may be, and depending on the odds of that outcome happening, you get a payout, or you don't. Simple as that. The most important thing to keep in mind with sports betting is that it's all about the odds. Remember that. They are the holy grail of betting, and all of your decisions should rely on them. The main difference between casino games and sports betting is that most casino games are based on random chance, with each event, such as the spin of a roulette wheel, being an independent outcome that doesn't influence the next result. Whereas with sports betting, the outcome of previous matches greatly affects the odds and chances of the next results, especially if the same teams are involved. This makes sports betting more scientific and mathematical compared to games of chance, making it a little more complex for the casual bettor. However, don't be intimidated by all the numbers, as I'll go through the basics and make it as simple as possible for you. Which sport to choose? Before you start betting, the first thing to do, of course, is to choose which sports league you're gonna bet on. This choice really depends on the reason why you wanted to bet in the first place. If you're in it just because you're a big sports fan and want to make a quick buck on the side, then it's probably best to stick to the sports you know, like hockey, soccer, basketball, whatever it may be. However, if you're in it to win big, you need to select the most profitable sports. Thankfully, since sports betting is heavily based on numbers, the data is already out there on which sports are more worth your time if you're after a good profit. The downside is that it can take a lot of time and effort to sort through all this information. There are many free data comparison sites and tools you can find across the web that can aid you with this decision. But if you want a quick tip, go for the most popular sports and matches. Generally, when it comes to the most profitable sports for bettors, past data puts college football at the top, followed by NFL, college basketball, the NHL, NBA, and MLB. Just keep in mind that the higher potential profit comes at a higher risk bet. So, you need to find the right sport to bet on based on the potential risk and the amount of games that are played per season. Now, let's move on to the meat of sports betting, and that is the betting. The easiest way to do this nowadays is, of course, online, using a betting site or a bookkeeper. The internet is packed with licensed betting sites and bookkeepers, and they make it incredibly easy to place a wager. Once you have an account and have deposited some money, you're pretty much ready to place any bet you want with just a few clicks. Just like with online casinos, the online sports betting scene is highly competitive, and you'll be bombarded with offer bonuses and rewards as these websites literally beg you to open an account with them. These bonuses are always great to kick off your betting spree. When it comes to which particular website to use, well, there's just way too many to go over. Luckily for you though, we always have an updated list of the best online casinos and bookkeepers on our website, canadacasino.ca. Now we're getting into the really juicy part. And that's how to win. As I mentioned earlier, sports betting is all about the odds. Odds are calculated by bookkeepers and represent the payout of winning wagers, of which the amount is dependent on the likelihood of a certain outcome happening. As a rule of thumb, the higher the odds, the less chance of the outcome happening, and therefore the higher the payout. And vice versa, of course. The lower the odds, the more likely the outcome is to happen, and the lower the payout. There are also even money odds, which are 50-50 and let you win back your stake. The best piece of advice I can give you to help you win is to simply bet on sports that you know well. If you aren't well versed in sports, then start slow, pick one you seem to like, and try and get into it. It can be tempting when you open up a betting site and see all the sports and matches going on. It just makes you want to throw wagers left and right and just cross your fingers. In reality, you'll do much better if you concentrate on learning how to bet properly on one or two sports. My second piece of advice is not to pay for tips. The internet is full of self-proclaimed experts who are selling all kinds of advice on sports betting. The reality is that most of these people aren't actually that good, and paying for their services is just gonna hurt your bankroll. And if you know your sport well enough, you won't need them. Last but not least, be disciplined. Manage your bankroll properly and keep records of your betting. You want to keep track of all your progress to know when you're improving, how much money you've spent, and so on. I know this is redundant to me saying, but sports betting is heavily based on math and probability, so number crunching will save your wallet. That concludes our brief introduction to sports betting and some advice on how to bet and win. Stay tuned for more videos on the topic, and feel free to comment below or suggest ideas for future videos on our channel. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and definitely subscribe for more gambling content coming soon. This was Canada Casino, and I'll see you guys next time.